Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make these crochet rose chokers, and I've made quite a bunch of these in different colors. These two are the same pattern as this one and with pointy petals, and this one has the curved petals. And yeah, you can make these with cotton. This one I made with a fluffy acrylic. So yeah, and you only need less than 15 grams of yarn, so it's really good if you have just a little bit of yarn left over. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and yeah, let's get into it. By the way, if I sound a little bit different in this intro, it's because I went to a Paris Paloma concert yesterday and we all sang along very loudly, so my voice is a little bit gone, but the tutorial I filmed a couple days ago, so let's get into it. For this project, you'll need your choice of yarn. I am using this cotton to show you today, but you can also use an acrylic. I use this fluffy acrylic to make this little fluffy rose to have like a mohair type of look. And then depending on what yarn you choose, you're going to use either a 4.5 millimeter hook or a 4 millimeter hook. And if you look at these yarns, for example, they look quite similar, but the cotton will compact less than the acrylic. So for the acrylic, I would use a 4 millimeter, and for the cotton, I would use a 4.5. So I'm going to use the 4.5 for this yarn to show you. Then you'll need a pair of scissors and a darning needle. You will only need about less than 15 grams of yarn for this project. So it's really good for any leftover yarn you have. We're going to start off with a slip knot. So you'll hold your yarn like this, twist it at the top, pull the long string through, and then pull that tight. And that's a slip knot. Then we're going to put our 4.5 millimeter hook for the cotton yarn into the loop, and we're going to tighten this. To start, we're going to chain 44. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 30, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, and 44. Then we're going to double crochet in the fourth chain from the hook. So this is the first, second, third, and this is the fourth. So we're going to put our yarn over, go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and place a double crochet in that stitch. Then we're going to chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and place another double crochet in the same stitch. Then we're going to count 1, 2, 3, and the fourth chain again, and we're going to make a double crochet in there and chain 4 and double crochet in the same stitch. Then we're going to double crochet in the fourth chain again, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to keep doing this all the way down till the end. So I'll show you one more time. Put your yarn over, count 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And we're going to place a double crochet in there, chain 4, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to go back into that same chain space. So you're going to do this all the way till the end, and I'll get back to you when we get there. Okay, so we're at the last 4 chains, so this is the 4th one from our hook, so we're going to place a double crochet in there. And then we're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to place a double crochet in that same chain space. Okay, and this is what it should look like. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these little loops if you did 44 chains. For the next round, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to place 10 double crochets in this loop space. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if it's starting to look like you're going to run out of space, just shove them to the side there. And we're going to do number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. When we finished our 10 double crochets in the big chain space, we're going to place a single crochet right here. So we're going to go into this loop and place 1 single crochet. Then we're going to place 10 double crochets in this next loop. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then you're going to place a single crochet in this next space. After this, you have 2 options. You can either keep doing the same, placing 10 double crochets in every single one of these loops and a single crochet in between those other little gaps, and then it will turn out like this. You'll have these curved petals. And what I'm going to show you how to do is how to make these pointier petals that both of these have. So you can see there's like a little point on the petals after the first 2, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But if you don't like that and you just want the curved ones, just keep doing 10 double crochets in every big gap and a single crochet in the in-between spaces, just like we did those first 2, just all the way till the end. Everything else that we're going to be doing after that is going to be the same with this. The assembly is the same and everything. It's just if you want pointy petals or not. So yeah, that's what a pointy petal looks like, and this is what a curved petal looks like. So to make our pointy petals, we're going to make 5 double crochets first in this big gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then to make the little points, we're going to do a stitch that's called a picot stitch. And to do that, we're going to make 2 chains, and I like to make these quite tight. Like, don't make these loose chains because they'll make the point, it will make the point look nicer if the chains are tighter. And then we're going to go into the stitch like this. So we're going to go in that V, and we're going to go just in the front bit, and we're going to go in this other stitch as well. So you can see I have those 2 on my loop. I'll just do that one more time just so you can see. This is the stitch, the double crochet we're going into.
and this is the top of that, and I'm going right in there. And then I'm pulling through a loop, and I'm pulling that loop through my first loop, making a slip stitch. And then we're going to make 5 double crochets into the same space again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this will create this little point. Don't worry if yours looks slightly different. All of the points are like a little bit different, but that makes it look more organic and flower-like, I think. So then we're going to do a single crochet in that next in-between stitch again, and we're going to repeat the same thing. So we're going to do 5 double crochets in the big gap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pull that to the side. We're going to chain 1 and 2, and we're going to go into that top part of the stitch and that other little loop, and we're going to pull through a slip stitch, and then we're going to do 5 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And here you see we have another pointy petal, and we're going to single crochet in this in-between area again. I'll show you one more time how to do the pointy petal. We're going to go in this space, place a double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochet. Push that to the side, and then chain up 2. By the way, when I say a tight chain, I mean like just like doing it, pulling it more, so it's a slightly hard to pull your hook through. Like this would be a loose chain. We don't want that. So you want it to be like just pulling through there. And then we're going to go into that little V area, and we're going to pull through a slip stitch and then place 5 more double crochets in the same gap. 2, 3, 4, and 5. You're just going to continue making those 5 double crochet, the picot stitch, and 5 double crochet in these chain 4 spaces. So you have, after these that we've done 5 in total now. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more left, and you're going to continue placing single crochets in those spaces in between. So here are those little triangles with the point upwards. That's where you will be placing your single crochets. So I'm going to place one here, but I'll talk to you again when we're at the end. So we're at the last petal right now. I just made the last single crochet in here, and then we're going to go in this last chain 4 space, and we're going to place 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, make our picot, and we're going to place 5 more double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then to finish this up, we're going to place a slip stitch in this gap here between the last double crochet and the chain space. We're going to put it right in there, and we're going to make a slip stitch. And then we're going to cut a very long tail of yarn. I'm going to grab quite a bit just so I have enough, and I'm going to cut it just so I have enough to sew everything together. And now we're going to pull this yarn through that chain, pull it all the way through, and we're going to tighten that. So it should look something like this, and don't worry that it's twisting, it just does that. That's because we're also going to roll it up, so we won't notice that. This is going to be the inside, and this is going to be the outside. You'll see the inside petals more just because how they're sitting, and this is the good side, and this is the less good side. So we're going to start on this side with our rounded petals, and you can all see by the shorter tail end, whereas the far end has the really long tail end. So you're going to start with the shorter tail end, and you're going to roll this up. And you want to make sure that you don't see any of the bottom parts, only the petals. And I like to roll it so that the next petal is always slightly higher than the previous one. And we're going to keep rolling that all the way around. You can adjust as you go. See, like there, like that there. And this is our last one. This is what it looks like right now. I'm quite happy with that. If you weren't happy with that, just re-roll it. And what I'm going to do now is gently put this down. And I'm going to grab my darning needle, and we're going to put the long tail end through the needle. And the easiest way to do this for me is to grab the hard edge of your needle, don't hold it like this, hold it like this. Put the yarn over it like this and pull it tight. Pull your needle out and then push it onto the yarn. For me, that's the easiest way to get the yarn through. Okay, now we're going to carefully pick up our rows again, making sure that we don't discombobulate the petals too much. And we're going to sew everything together. So I'm just checking that I still like how everything is looking. I pull that one out slightly more. Oh yeah, now I can see like here's a little gap. I don't want that, so I'm going to pull that slightly tighter, just so we don't have any of that. And now we're going to sew stuff together. So first we're going to do a really rough sew. We're just going to push our needle through there, and just make sure that you don't see your needle on the front side. And we're just going to push it through. Pull that all the way through. Make sure you don't take that with you. And we're going to do that a couple of times. Keep checking that it's not, you can't see it on this side. I can't see it here, so that's good. And keep pulling that through. Go over here, and it doesn't matter if this is a little bit messy since this is going to be the back. Still can't see it on the front. So that is good. Okay. Okay. So now that I have the base sewn down, we're going to sew down the edges of the petals because otherwise it'll just unfurl like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to find where we left off here. And I'm going to go through this top petal here, and then I'm going to see, I'm just going to grab one of those, and I'm going to push through the bottom and grab somewhere just right there, and I'm going to go through that only on the back side and then go up through the other petal again. And after I pull this through, you can see you can't see anything here. You can see if I pull this apart, there's the yarn there, but we're going to pull that tight so you don't see that. And we're going to do that all the way around. So here, for example, they're not on each other, so I'm going to pull through here on this, well, on the back side, this is the top petal, and then here's the petal below it, so we're going to sew onto there, and we're going to go back on the top petal, and we're going to go on the bottom petal through here. Here we can see the other one again, so we're going to go through there and then pull back up through the other petal. Try not to pull this too tight because you don't want the petals to get weird lumps in them. But we're just going to do that all the way around, so I'm going to go back in here, push through the other side, see where I'm at, grab something there, and go back up again. Pull it all the way through. This side I want to sew down, so I'm going to put that right here so that doesn't go anywhere. Pull that there. Then we're going to go onto this bottom petal here to attach those together. And we're going to go back into this upper one. Back into this lower one, and we can grab some of the upper one when we come up. This is also still loose, so we're going to sew that down. We're gonna put some right there. We're going to grab some of this, and we're going to look below there, grab some of the one below that. Actually, we're just going to go up here first and then grab the one below because it's a little bit easier. We're going to sew through these, pull that right there, and go back up through the back petal. See, these we've already sewed down here, you can see. Then we're going to go back onto the back here, and I'm just going to push this little side thing down a little bit because I don't like the way that's sticking out, because that won't be really comfortable. And we're going to go up here and through the base again to the other side. And we're going to do this a couple more times. Work my way over here. Okay, we're going to go in on this side. We're going to push through that little top bit there, trying to get that to lay flat on the back here. So we have this now, and we're gonna push this through here. I just like sewing this a bunch just to make it extra secure. You could obviously also make stitches like through the back. Like if I wanted to sew these two together, I could just like stick my needle through here and then pull it through another stitch, but I think that's sometimes a little bit too visible, so I like just sewing through the back and trying to get as many petals as possible. So if I stick it through here, I get basically all of them in there. And that keeps it very secure in my opinion. So yeah, then we're going to finish up the back here. I'm going to want to get this end towards this end, so I'm going to go through this way one more time. And then I'm going to go back this way towards this one. Pull that through. I'm gonna just take my needle off of there for a second, and we're going to tie these two together. So I'm going to tie one and two, and you can do a third one just for extra security, but two is probably fine. Then I'm going to cut this other end of yarn to the same length, and we're going to put both ends through our needle at the same time, and we're just going to weave this in a couple more times. So I'm just going to go back and forth. One time, two times, and I think I can get it to go one more time if I stick in the needle first. If you have your ends are too short and you can't get it on your needle and then push it through, what I like to do is push the needle through first, push it so you can just see the top still, and then you can use your fingernails to push the yarn through there. It's a bit finicky, but when your end is too short, I find this to be the easiest way to actually get them through, and it's easier to do it one at a time. So you can lie your end over like this, and then push on it with your nail, and then grab it from the other side. And now those are both through, and I'm going to pull them through to the other side. And now they're all in there, I'm going to cut this end off really carefully, not to cut my rows. There we go. And this is what it's looking like right now. To make the necktie, we're going to make a long chain, and we're going to make a slip knot. You do not need to leave a long tail, so just like that is fine. We're going to put our 4.5mm hook in there. Pull it tight by pulling on the both ends, and then we're going to chain 160. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm just going to continue doing this all the way. When you've done 160 chains, you can cut your yarn, and we don't have to cut it very far, we can just cut it quite close. If you want the necktie to be longer, you can chain a lot more, but I think this is a really nice length. If you want it to be shorter, you can also chain less. Just see what fits around your neck comfortably. This fits around my neck about twice, and it leaves a little bit of a tail, which I think is very cute. But yeah, you could chain more or less depending on what you want, and we're going to pull this yarn through this loop and pull that tight. Then we're going to, before we finish this off, we're going to put our necktie through our rows, and we're going to put this on the needle. And the chains won't go through your needle, but that doesn't matter, they just have to go through the rows. So if the needle's just like this, that's fine. Don't try to get the chains through there, because that's just not gonna work. Then you're gonna see what side of your rows you'd want facing upwards. I think I'd probably want it to be like this, so I'm going to put it down. I want it to sit like this with my head like here and my neck here, so I'm going to then turn it like this, and I'm going to put my needle through here and over to this side. And then we're going to pull this through, and you're going to pull the yarn bit will go easy, the chains will be harder, so we're going to feel with our finger and pull the yarn bit through first, our needle away, and now we can just pull this, and you just have to pull a little bit hard, and then we can pull this through. Something I like to pay attention to, there's a like front and back side to every chain. So the little V's are the front and those little bumps are the back. So I like to try to get the bumps to sit like facing me, just like the back is facing me, so that when we turn it around we see the V's and not the bumps. But that's like just personal preference. It probably isn't that noticeable to most people, but that's just how I like it. We're just going to pull this through until we have equal amounts on both sides. Pull a little bit more, and I'm going to look. Just have to pull a little bit more. Let's see. That's about even. Then we're going to finish this off. You could just cut the yarn like this far away and just leave it like that. But I like tying a little knot, so we're going to tie a knot like this, and I'm going to pull it all the way till the end here, and I'm going to pull it tight. That's as tight as it'll go. And then I'm going to cut really close to this. If you're afraid of it falling apart, you can just cut it farther and have a little bit of a tail. But personally, I've had no problems so far, so I cut it really close there to make sure not to cut the actual knot. And don't pull on the knot anymore after this. Just tighten it before and then just leave it be, because otherwise it could potentially come undone. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to tie a knot, and we're going to pull it all the way to the bottom there, pull tight. It's pulled very tight, and we're going to, here you can see that the little knot is still right there, so just cut right above that. Don't cut there because you'll break it. So I'm going to cut right there. If you have acrylic, you could use a lighter to melt this. Be really, really careful, and if you're a child, please do not do that. Ask an adult to help you. But with cotton, that would not do anything. With acrylic, that would melt the fibers, so if you don't want to see that, but with cotton, you can just kind of squeeze it and push it together, and then you don't see that little knot as much. It just looks like a little cute end. And yeah, that's how you make this crochet rose choker.
So yeah, that's how you make these crochet rose chokers. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, let me know. I'm excited to know if you guys make these chokers, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you have a really great day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye everyone!